Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for joining me here on Feature Junkie. My name's Ed, and today we're going to be talking about the new movie Saw 10, directed by Kevin Gruder, starring Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, Stephen Brand, Renata Vaca, and Sinev Makodi Lund. So whether you want to call it Saw 10 or Saw X or even Fast X, Saw is definitely one of those horror movie franchises that everyone really knows about. If you're trying to catch up in the previous movies and what might happen in this movie, definitely check out my guy YK Reviews on YouTube. He does incredible stuff. He just finished a really great retrospective series on the entire Saw franchise. So again, check him out, subscribe. He has great stuff there. But with that being said, I definitely have some things to say about this film. But before I get into that, if you could leave a like down below, I'd greatly appreciate that. Now let's get into the plot, courtesy of IMDb. John Kramer is back, and this film is set between the events of Saw 1 and Saw 2. A sick and desperate John travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental medical procedure in hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer, only to discover that the entire operation is a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. Armed with a newfound purpose, John returns to his work, turning the tables on the con artist in his signature visceral way through a series of ingenious and terrifying traps. Okay, so we just got back from seeing Saw at the movies, and I had a good time watching the film. Right from the jump, they kind of have one of those signature kills that you see in all the Saw movies just to get you into the Saw spirit, but it does kind of die down and slow down for quite some time during the beginning of the film, and during that time, it does feel like a completely different film than what we would normally see with a Saw movie. However, it does start to build back up as the movie goes on. I think by the end of the movie, you're all the way in and you're just like, yeah, this is one of those Saw movies, the ones that we love to see throughout the entire series. And during those slower moments, we're kind of diving deeper into John Kramer and his cancer during this time, him trying to do everything he can to basically beat the cancer. He has a little bit of hope, and then stuff happens where it's kind of taken away, and it does drag on for quite some time, but it's really cool to see that side of John. And like I said before, it was a little bit slow for me. I felt like they could have told that entire part of the story maybe in 10 minutes, but it does drag. But eventually we do get to those Saw type of parts in the film. We see the people that he decides to torture, and by all means, you kind of don't feel bad for them at all. Like, you really do see why they are in the position that they're in. And throughout all the Saw movies, John Kramer kind of has this moral code to not kill the people themselves. More or less, he gives them the opportunity to see and learn from their actions. I feel like in this specific movie, you definitely see that side of him a lot more than all the other films. So if you're going to this movie for the kills and the gruesome scenes and the blood and gore, obviously, yes, that is definitely in here. This is a Saw movie. They go all the way. I was cringing in multiple moments in the film. I had to look away in some moments that were just a little bit too much for myself. But of course, if you're at the movies watching this film, you like that stuff and you're going to enjoy this movie. Now, for me, when it came to the actors, I feel like they all did a pretty well job. It always kind of astonishes me how this series has been going on for so long, yet everyone that comes back in the movie, they all look almost exactly the same age. Surely that has to do with some of the filters that they have in the movie. I really don't like that yellowish green tone that they do, but it's consistent with the rest of the films. The endings in Saw movies are always great because you get to see these little Easter eggs that they kind of implant inside the film. They come back later on, and then you see that these things were the plan the entire time, and you're just like psyched out, and you hear the music in the background. You're smiling from cheek to cheek because the way they bring it all together is just so perfect. For me, I really did like the ending. As far as the rest of the films, I would say this one definitely wasn't one of the best, but it's not one of the worst at all. I would put it just right in the middle, and I'd say that's a pretty good film, and I would recommend, if you're into those Saw movies or if you just want to watch a horror movie, definitely check this one out. But most importantly, I want to know what you guys have to say about this film. If you liked it, if you didn't, whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, hit that notification icon down below so you know I'm going live or dropping new content. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here today on Feature Junkie.